leave that there. How many times if we just close the door on something after it's done and don't carry that emotion, how much will that change your experience of that day? And that's what I really think that's what I was thinking about this morning. It was like, so okay, we talked about this before. There's a price to pay for carrying excess baggage through life,
Yeah.
and it doesn't even have to be from year to year. It can be from moment to moment. And I think if we have a very good consciousness about that, then we can change the direction of our day. And then the day, or we'll start the minute, the hour, then the day, then a week in a lifetime, just piece by piece. Damn, that was fucking good.
You're right. But then again, that's the one thing that that's one of the hardest things to do, but it's one of the most important things to do. Because a lot of the things that we say is just natural. It just comes right out. Thinking, that's a habit. When you do things and you don't think about it, it's called a habit. So, holy fuck, dude. So we have to perfect or better our speaking habits.
How are you today?
Well, and
Unbelievable.
I got two friends that they had to do with money. They had to do with financial field. Because one of them was in the financial field, and the other one is just in the field of life. And that's how they always answer every single time. And when I questioned them, they said, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." It didn't matter. It didn't matter what the scenario was. It could be upside down. Your life could be upside down. Hey, man, what's going on? How are you? Dude, unbelievable. That good? No, man. I'm hurting. Or unbelievable. Great. You just wouldn't believe me if I told you. I like it. It's not bad.
Saunders does that. Saunders does that. I don't know where he got it from, but
That must be, listen, because these two guys were old. One of them, well, they were both old salespeople.
he definitely got it from a sales tape because he shared it with us on his morning elite training when we were learning how to do sales. We would watch Tom Hopkins, and there's another one, Dan. I can't remember his last name. He's an Asian dude, but we used to watch their videos in the morning, and then we'd go over and teach the new people how to close, why, and the reasoning behind it, and psychology and stuff like that. Help people try and make some money because you're brand new in sales, never done it before. A lot of people struggle desperately, and it's not as hard as they think it is, but they psych themselves out. Yeah, that was a fun period. We would do that. I'd come home from the gym. We'd do that at 8 a.m. and we'd help the new guys.
I definitely sales. Oof, there's a lot of good things. Everything in life is about sales. Everything. You have to be a good closer if you're going to get anywhere in life. Doesn't matter. What's that?
That's if you're going to get what you want.
In order to get what you want, you have to learn how to close. Yes.
Because you can get
a lot of things you don't want if you don't know how to close. Closing is very important. We are physically here because our dad closed our moms. Oh,
no kidding. How was Naples yesterday?
It could have been shorter. It was a good trip, though.
Good. Good.
Could have been shorter, but it was a very, very good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was just now doing the numbers, and are you fucking serious, dude?
Freaking cats.
The fucking ducks. My ducks. Dude, I was doing the numbers on that one, and that was a really good trip. But then again, it was a very delicate situation too. So it was a Citation Excel 560 Excel, and you could spell it or X, whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. And it turns out that Naples, somebody towing the airplane messed up and over rotated the nose landing. Oh, I told you about it, right?
No, right? You didn't on that one.
I didn't tell you.
They
over rotated the nose landing gear, right? So that where they're towing the airplane, and there's 3 shear bolts on top. Fucking snap right off.
I was gonna guess you were gonna say they broke a gear or something like that. That's
so. In order to not break the gears, there's 3 bolts on this gear, right? Because this gear is tied to a little actuator. Actually, I have pictures of it.
It's like a pitting arm on a freaking.
Yes. So that's how it goes, just like that. So when they over rotated it just broke the shear bolts. So I had to. All right. So here's what we did. And it wasn't my job. Actually, I got called to go help somebody out. That mechanic that called me himself. He's like, dude, I need you. So we have to, of course, jack the airplane. So I had to prepare for jacking. I had to connect a robo mule to the aircraft so I can run hydraulics. I had to remove completely the nose landing gear. We threw it on the table. Those through bolts were very fun to drill out. Yes, drilling those things out was fun. Pulling out the little studs there, that was exciting. I
That's
mean,
part of the day right there.
come on, drilling through stainless steel is fun. It's always fun. So I got them out. And it wasn't that bad, but it was tedious. I got them out. Then inspect everything. So we inspected the fuck out of the whole area. So maybe anything else broken. Because remember, this is an insurance claim.
Get it back. Get it all back.
Look at me.
We used to. The reason why I made so much money when I towed cars in Colorado, and the dispatcher even called me out when the guys were saying they didn't make any money. She's like, "You need to talk to Daniel." What are you talking about? That dude bills. No, it was like, man, I bill for everything. So and that's when I was like young. I was like, that they would fight you tooth and nail for everything that you did. So I made sure that I billed them for everything that I did. So that's just the way.
Exactly. And billing for what everything that you did. But the other one is, oh my God, I'm gonna say anything. Sorry, keep going.
You're good, man.
You were saying something. I had the idea. You stopped talking, and I started it, and then it just vanished.
It happens.
It happens too much. I'm going to tell you right now. I think that yes, those mushroom extracts do work. I haven't taken them for about a month and a half now, almost 2 months, and I've noticed a lot more fogginess. So
I start hydrating first thing.
Awesome. Two of these things when I'm on the phone with you.
I think it's because I would normally do a pre-workout before the gym, and I do amino acids, and then I think I'm still depleted of electrolytes, so I've been doing electrolytes. It's so funny, dude.
I remembered what we were talking about, and then I realized that we went from billable hours to electrolytes in 0.42 seconds.
Oh yeah, we do it all the time, really, really fast. Well, because I was done after you take it over. I was like, all right, well, I'm done with that now.
Okay.
But you start talking about brain fog, and I noticed in the morning if I'm not fully hydrated, then I am a little more foggy. So I started making sure that I'm getting the salts and stuff that I need, the liquids.
On the billable hours back on the billable hours subject. That's exactly because you need to be good at sales because it's detailed. It's extremely detailed. This is a very in-depth, what's that called?
Process.
Just a very detailed description of work performed. Why? Because when they come back and go, how much did that cost? And I'll say, and they'll be like, here's everything I did. Here's the list. Oh, yeah. That's my only selling point. I itemize it specifically. It was this. Why do we do it that way? Because they look at it and you'll get people that'll kick it back to you. Come on, Nest, what are you talking about? And I'll get some invoices back with a couple check marks going, hey, I don't know about this. That's cool. Do you a favor. But I'm already winning anyway. Once in a while to give them a return, it's no big deal. But on these insurance jobs, you better believe they like specifics, don't they? So I gave them dude, there was 3 techs there. It's an expensive job. That's 3 techs traveling to fucking Naples. That's 3 techs for setup. That's 3 techs for cleanup. That's 3 techs for the work performed. That's 3 techs for fucking drive time, right? We're going to have a good. And that's what I was talking about. I didn't do shit all week.
That's right.
Shit all week. And
you didn't work the weekend either. Did you work last weekend? You worked 2 days out of the weekend.
Dude, I hadn't worked since Wednesday.
Because you had the birthday party for.
What day is today?
It's Sunday now.
So listen, Sunday. Wednesday was my son's birthday. And then we had the hurricane. I hadn't done anything, dude. I've been a vegetable for fucking 9 days.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yep.
I was starting to notice the account. I'm like, fuck, I have no money. I got to go work.
Oh man, dude, I freaking roasted one of the supervisors yesterday on accident.
What's up?
Oh, well, because what made me think about it more was this morning because I was like, wake up, thank God for the day, like do my gratitude, and I was sitting there and I was thinking about my conduct as an individual yesterday. I could have done a lot better. Could have. All right. But it wasn't in the ass. It was that I let somebody else's actions and their ability to screw me over affect my mentality for the rest of the course of the day because it happened first thing. And I didn't even realize that it happened. I still had a good day, but I could have had a great day as far as my mentality wise, but still operating in a sense of gratitude. Like, well, we missed half the week because of a hurricane, so blah, this is cool, but whatever. But I was still like, every time I'd see those guys, like grumbling a little bit when I'd see them. So they called me when I was coming home from work on Friday at 6 o'clock. But hey, do you want to come in on Saturday? That's a stupid question. No, I don't want to come in on Saturday. It doesn't matter. What do you got? I need you to get here as early as possible. And all right, well, make sure the truck at the yard wasn't there. The guy took it home, and this is where my spiral started. He took it home because he didn't want to move the stuff that they had thrown all over the place, and there's nowhere to turn around the truck. So he drove it to Lehigh instead of going to pick up his truck because he didn't want to clean up the mess that he made. Well, the mess that all of the supervisors made with their crews because they were rushing to get out of there for the hurricane. Yeah. And so I meet him in the morning, go get his keys, go get his truck, take to the job site because that's where we're supposed to be working. And freaking, I end up having to go back in the dump truck and trailer to the place where they threw everything and pick up a machine to take it from, I'll pull it up on the map, from Alva back to Captiva. So as we're doing storm cleanup, the sand is plowed so high in some places that they were literally pushing it with a loader and driving on top of it to dump it. I took some videos too, so it's impressive the amount of storm surge and sand that was pushed through there. So I get there, of course, they put all of the stuff. I poured a pad of base rock, and it was 44 loads of base rock. So it's a very large area, and they entirely covered it and made it to where nobody could use the space, just throwing stuff everywhere. I was like, all right. So I literally had to move everything by myself. It took about an hour before I could actually get to the equipment that I needed to get to pull it out, to put fuel in it, and turn the truck around. And there's stuff everywhere because we got barges and stuff that we're doing all our stuff with. It's like, all right, cool. That's the job stuff. But this is a character thing. The whole how you do anything, how you do everything is kind of a big part of how I try to operate. And we just had bad timing, man. I was getting out of there. He's like, hey, so when are you coming over here to get this machine? I don't know what you're talking about. But what I do know is that you guys are fucking assholes. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, who the fuck threw all that shit all over the yard? He's like, well, that's kind of everybody did it. He's like, there's a big rush to get everything out of there. The rush has nothing to do with the quality of your work. He's like, still do the quality of your work the same way. I was like, that just shows your lack of character.
Yeah, I felt it. I don't know, dude. You want to throw, don't you?
I don't care.
Oh my god!
I do not care because the reason why they have this culture of this lack of any type of standard of excellence or
Because it's the truck drivers. I understand what you mean.
well, because that's not cool. You guys literally fucked me over on a level to where I started my day. I left my house as soon as we got done here. I was dressed and everything. That's at 6 a.m. So I left my house early because of this problem that started days ago. That I haven't been there in a week. I've been in. So you've been in Naples. So our yard is down by the toll plaza.
Where?
The toll plaza when you're coming into
Okay,
Naples. Yeah, so that's where the semi truck is parked. So that's where when I say I had to run south, that's where I'm going to go pick up a truck to come back to a barrier island to go move equipment and bring it back. So that's where I've been back and forth, this and that. And so I come in there and I was like, I didn't even do this. And I was like, you guys have literally affected. So by the time I was on my way back to the island, they were on lunch. So that's 6 hours of the day that was gone because of this bullshit that these supervisors that run crews are creating this piss poor standard. And so I was a little pissed, not gonna lie, but I didn't cuss anybody out. But
No,
I
but you
called
did call him out.
I said I didn't cuss him out.
You
So,
sit outside.
well, because it got worse because the guy that was driving that truck, I asked him about it. You're the one that was moving all this equipment. Didn't you do this? No, I didn't do that. Really? So then the boss calls. He's like, "Hey, I need you to go up there and get this." I was like, "You know, it's going to take a lot of time because of X." And he's like, "Oh well," and I was like, "You need to manage your fucking yard." He was like, "What? You need to manage your yard. It's a shit show. It shouldn't be like this. And it wasn't like this a week ago."
You told the owner he needs to manage his yard.
It's not the owner. I've known the guy for
Like the shift boss.
he runs everybody. So he runs.
Shift boss.
He's the captain of the ship in Florida.
Gotcha.
So he's the one that I sold the insurance policies to that got me back in the truck. So we have a little bit of a different relationship, but it's a fucking shit show. And then he immediately went on the guy that was driving the truck, started going after him and talking about it.
Gotcha.
We both solve problems. We know which pieces are moving around, and yeah, those are the pieces that are hey, fuckers over there did this shit and don't want to own it. Cool. And so we all knew, but he wouldn't take any responsibility for no ownership, nothing. And I was like, so I started it with him, and then I didn't see any of the other guys. I talked to one of the other supervisors too, and I was like, why is it that nobody has any consideration for who they fuck over in their day? Because it was that 30 seconds that it would have taken you to walk over and get the keys for the machine to pick up something and put it where it's off the side. And so it's funny and really annoying. So it takes about 5 minutes to wiggle a truck and trailer in between the trees and then to back it up around the equipment and pumps, even after I moved everything. And it's just like, it's fun.
Yes. I can understand frustration now.
So I kind of, so then every time I saw one of the supervisors, I was like, just kind of grumbly. And it's a beautiful day. We're freaking out looking at the beautiful landscape. Because when you come around, when you get past some of the houses, all the brushes and trees are gone because of storm surge. So you literally have a very pristine view of the Gulf of Mexico. The water's perfectly clear. And then on the other side, there's mansions. And so it was a really cool spot to be at. And I did enjoy that. And so I was going through my gratitude this morning. I didn't even really appreciate all of the time that you spent out there yesterday. It was cool to see some of that stuff. It was really sad. The parking lots that you can see from the roadway coming over a bridge, blind path between Captiva and Sanibel. Then you're headed back towards town. If you look to the right, what used to be a parking lot is full of sand. It's just like, yeah, it pushed. The beach had eroded so much over the years for Blind Path Beach. It's back. It's impressive how much. I might as well just put some videos up and show you. It's fucking. The other sad part of it is at the end of the day, when we had to go up by the very end of Captiva to turn around because there's nowhere to turn around. A larger vehicle. Yeah. A house had burned down yesterday, and you could see was the smoldering ashes and smelled the smoke.
It just burnt?
It was still smoking, and it was down to the foundation. So I don't know what happened back there, but
probably somebody left the stove on, power came back on, boom. It happened.
You know what? That because the linemen were out there in full force yesterday. There was trucks everywhere.
That is the only thing, and that is the most common. When I say that, it's just it happened to us. I say us. It happened to my stepdad before he was my stepdad. So, well, anyway, he passed away already, but this goes, I'm going to go back during the first hurricanes back in 05, something like that. 04, 05, those first hurricanes back then. He had a rental house that went up in flames because the renters left the stove on after the power went out. And when the power came back on midday, something like that, they were all working. Stove was left on. Yeah, I don't know what was on there. It was
crazy. That makes total sense too. That's horrible.
I'm talking about maybe a day or so by itself. They didn't know they had power back. They were working. They don't, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know. And then it burned the fucking house.
That'd be so freaking horrible.
Happens all the time.
Because Alicia called me yesterday. She was like, the stove, or not the stove, the dryer's not working. I was like, the breakers are off. because it wasn't out, but it was surging, and lights were flickering, and I was just like, it just started popping breakers, and then it stopped.
Hey, go do just keep the essentials on.
Yeah. So I'm just like that. I don't know even why that crossed my mind, but it's like, oh nope, we got 12 more hours of this bullshit. Start turning off the breakers. But I did see them. They were delivering the boxes for underground utilities yesterday for Sanibel, so they might be getting rid of some of those.
It'd be a perfect time while they're rebuilding.
Well, there's so much new stuff after Ian, and it's only been 2 years. And so now they're going to be rebuilding a lot of that infrastructure, which sucks. So they might want to make a shift to.
There's even more reasons. They're running so much shit underground. There's even more reasons. It's hard to even plant a fucking tree. It's hard to do anything because there's people that shit. That's why I still want my land. I have mixed feelings. I know we talk about that shit all the time. The compound feelings, I really do because I want my compound, but then again, I don't want anybody near me. So, and that includes family, dude. I'm telling you, it's like things that happened in the family the last couple of days, and especially yesterday. And I was like, my wife was kind of upset. Well, here's the thing: I hadn't seen her for 2 days. Almost feels like I hadn't seen her for 2 days, and I knew she was down. I knew she wasn't feeling it, and it makes complete sense because she's had me for a week, and then. I'm her entertainment, dude. I'm her entertainment. It was, and she'll crack a little joke here and there, and she'll call me. I understand her so much, so well. I just hope that she really understands that. When I pick up, I usually don't pick up. If I'm working, I don't pick up the phone. I don't go, "Hi, honey." No, I don't do that. That's why these things are important. If I can pick up, I'll pick up. If I can't, I can't. Sometimes she'll get the bites, the quick. I'm really busy. I gotta go. Bye. Right? She'll get that one, but at least I answered, letting her know I'm really busy. I gotta let you go. But whatever. So
I mean, she did the same thing yesterday too. You could feel it through the phone, where she was like, "Hey, so how's it going? I'm working. So do you think you're gonna get up early? All right. I just wanted to check in. Love you too." It's very quick. It's very coarse. It's kind of assholeish because I'm in the middle of something, and my mental focus is on this thing.
it is exactly. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. You can't draw any attention away from it. It's true. It's when you're in the zone, when you're focused, when you're in, they don't understand. I don't think it's just like it does.
Sometimes you have to articulate it because when she's pointing, well, I told you what's freaking awesome. She's pointed it out. She's like, just answer the phone. So if it's to the point where you have that much focus, then just don't answer the phone if you can't talk. And
then you get another phone call.
Is everything okay? Yeah.
15 minutes. And then it'll go spaced out to an hour. Maybe talk to you in 2 days.
That's funny.
And you get home, he goes, "Hey baby, how are you? What's going on?" You were so busy you couldn't even pick up the phone and send me a text.
I don't get that one. No, I can't because I'm driving. That's why I don't get that one.
You had time to talk.
You've heard me when I've been driving how loud the inside of that truck is.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's not fun for anybody. So, I can't hear you. What you need. It's not fun.
I know that one too. But anyway, so back on the subject. So she's not feeling it. She's depressed. She's not with me. She's bored. She's by herself. The fucking kids are gone. They're doing their thing. She's literally her thumbs. And all she got to do is just talk with the fucking dogs and the cats. And I was like, and her mom were being visited by the little brother, right? Then, excuse me, the older brother invited mom and dad last week. "Hey, you guys, can you come out by the house?" Right? So they decide to go up there because, hey, if the little brother's here, let's all go to bigger brother house. So they all left. Golly told daddy that, "Hey, I'm here. Nestor's been in Naples for the last day or so. I'm home alone, whatever, blah. I'm not going anywhere." They never told her, "Hey, come on up." They had a barbecue up in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had a barbecue. They had a family get together. It hurt her bad because just the act of not calling, just the act of not giving the options when they're always together. You know what I mean? They're just she was livid.
It's gonna sit right there for a while too, whispering in her ear.
Oh, this woman cried on my fucking shoulder last night when I texted you. I was just now arriving. I didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, jeez.
It's, I'm there with her, and of course we got to talk. Of course, I have to give her the time. She wants to tell me through about her day and all that. Of course, bro, it was not fun listening to her.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I started crying. It was bad. She really felt it.
Well,
She's hurt, and she brings up shit that she's still healing from the past, from when she was a child, especially after our wake. You know what I mean? So, especially after our spiritual awake. Why? Because she's dove into it. The reason I know a little bit of it is because she knows that much more. You know what I mean? Like, she'll tell me, we need to go talk to this person, or we need to go contact. So we've made contacts with a lot of people for example, in the toad community, real shamans. That fucking backyard, no disrespect to the guy who fucking, we're cool. But anyway, so she was hurt. And why did we get on back up? How the fuck did we go there?
it was the emotional because she was crying last night when she was telling me about
Yeah, exactly. She was crying on my shoulder. Oh, thank you. When she started her spiritual journey, like a lot of memories and shit like that she needed just to let go, right? So she has been letting go, let it go. But that one right there just it's kind of like
the finger in the wound. That's why I said wound.
That's exactly what that was. Oh my God. It was salt, lemon, and a finger.
Salt in the wound. So people say you hurt their feelings. Like a lot of times it's something else that you've rung the bell on.
I have a feeling that it's me, that she was not invited because of me.
That's not you.
I still think that I haven't spoken to her brother. Remember how you like, you guys?
Yeah, I remember. I was processing through it when you were telling me the story. They're running around there, booty hurt.
I still have not sat down. Listen to me. Who has to talk? Him or me? He's the one who needs to talk to me, right? Yeah. Well, he's blind and he can't drive. But on top of that, if you need to talk to me, call me.
Right.
Tell me what's going on. I'll be in person. Then figure it out, dude. Please. Call me every fucking day. Hey, how you doing today? I don't have time to keep up with the bullshit. Why the fuck do I gotta keep? And I did that for 2 days, 3 days. Why do I have to keep tabs? Example. And I did this. Hey, I'm going to work. Hey, I just got home. I'm really tired. We'll talk tomorrow. You do? Why do I have to give him any explanations or him? That's why I told her, I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'm not chasing him. He's doing what you're talking. So I haven't spoken to the fucker. So I have a feeling that because of there's animosity, there's tension between us, right? Now, 2 nights ago, these motherfuckers, 2 nights ago, they were all drinking at a bar with my wife. I think I told you that my wife wasn't home. So Friday night, she was at a little local favorite little watering hole that they have. Her dad, her little brother. I don't think the oldest was there, but her little brother was there and she was there. And he's like, hey, I got to talk to you, but without any drinks. And she literally told him, she goes, well, talk about what, dude? You've been saying I got to talk. Fucking talk. Well, I can't do that because I've been drinking. Well, that's your fucking problem. But if you don't want to talk to me, so call me. No, I'd rather do it in person. She told him straight up, fucking call me.
He's running around with his fucking butt hurt.
I think so, dude. But I don't like the way they're treating her. She does everything for them. Everything. She's the only girl, and you should treat her like a fucking queen. Oh my God. That's why I'm reversing the negative shit. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I've been doing a lot of work on that one. No, he deserves the world and back. No, don't do that. No. So for right now, everybody's pissed off at each other. I don't know why, but whatever. Lack of communication. I think that's what it's called. I told her, I was like, I think you're overthinking this, right? And then she started telling me, think. And I'm like, no, you're not overthinking it. You had a point. Just call me. Oh, forgot to call me. So between 7 adults, between 7 adults and 2 children that were present, nobody said, I wonder what Nestor and Dolly are doing.
It probably came up. It's probably.
I know that the chat comes up. Mm-hmm. I know fucking my lifestyle choices come up. Because, oh my God, dude, I'm going to send you a picture.
Oh, man.
See how bad of a fat bastard I was.
That's funny. When I had texted you last night, and I was just getting home, and I was like, "I'm finally off." Yeah, me too. I'm almost there, and I started thinking about that the entry level position of hard work. Yeah, it's like you're not the only motherfucker that's working hard. It's the very base level of everything, and it's like,
I'll
yeah,
find a picture later. But what you just said, actually, I thought about the alphabet people yesterday. And for a split second, I was understanding my buddy, alphabet kid. For a split second, because that's his reality, right? So it's not mine, but that's 100%. That's his child. So I started putting myself in it. You know what I mean? That's his child, number one. That's his reality. He has a hard time, but he's expressing love completely for his child by going 100% against what he truly believes in. But at the same time, like I said, for a split second, right? And then how about this, dude? We can't interfere with the lives of other humans in that sense. They need to live out their fucking life in their, so give them the fucking consequences of their actions.
mm,
The people are doing stupid shit, not measuring or realizing the consequence of actions. Now listen, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, if we are stardust, because we are stardust, we are, it's not, we are, but if we are hybrid beings made by fucking different extraterrestrial lives and mixed in with a little bit of Homo erectus or whatever the fuck it was that was back then. And
what the hell is Homo erectus?
you don't know what Homo erectus is?
Homo erectus? No, I've never heard that term.
Are you serious? Wow. Homo erectus was the very first caveman to be able to walk. They say they can walk straight up. They,
Copy. So it's makes sense. Homo sapien is just one of the different
yes.
pathways. I probably heard it before, and this is the fuck ever.
I'm not talking about your baker.
I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not talking about the little blue pill. So whatever it is that we are, right? Oh, you had to take it away because now I lost what I was going to talk about.
Stardust, Homo erectus.
Stardust, but so Homo erectus. So why were we talking about that then?
I don't know why we were talking about it because I started talking about you're not the only motherfucker working hard, and then you went down this path of evolution.
I don't like me right now.
That's like, if you ever watch my face when you start talking, sometimes I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I'm just like, all right, let's see where this goes." You went to I legit, all right. So I was like, "Man, it's like I called you last night, or I texted you when I was getting off work, and it's like I'm still working too." It's like, yeah, not the only motherfucker working hard. I was like, that's the baseline, that's the entry level, and then everything else.
And we were talking about the alphabet kids, and then we talked about after we talked, and then about no actions and consequences, but. So, Stardust. Away.
I'm literally going to cut this whole section out of this fucking video. Definitely not getting those 5 minutes back. Fuck that.
Cut. Take a break.
Oh, man, that's funny as shit. That's so funny.
Daniel, take 7.
Oh, man.
All right. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Whatever it was, I know we were talking about how I started to understand him a little bit. I started to think about that, put myself in his shoes. But no, dude, I do know that, that's where we were going, right? So we have these souls, and when we die, dude, this is just a shell. So if we're living in Avatar, holy shit, I can't believe I remember. So if we're living in an Avatar, if we're living in a make-believe fucking world, if this is a simulation and these are avatars and we keep coming back or whatever, we have a soul that keeps doing all this stuff, and it just chooses the avatar. Oh, I want to be that one. Well, here's the thing, though. They already know. Things are already written, dude. Imagine the best version of yourself and the truly best sense of whatever the best of anything you could ever be. That's what he came down. That's what that soul came to experience, right? Life with you being the best you can. That you have that potential. But we don't, depending on the fucking choices that we make, we come ready, pack this gung-ho fucking, let's just say we're angels. Let's just say I just cut off my wings. I'm going to live this terrestrial life. I'm going to enjoy this fucking mother nature. I'm going to be grateful. You were talking about gratefulness earlier, and my eyes went like this. dude, I did the same thing. I look at the sunset in fucking Naples, and I'm looking at, wow, this is
freaking gorgeous last night.
right. And I'm looking at the sunset in Naples, and I'm enjoying it at the time. And even though my knees are killing me, and I was there with Nelson, I always take pictures of shit like that. I was like, because you enjoy it, how beautiful the fucking colors are, or whatever it is. Be grateful, dude. I'm doing figure eights. Listen to what I just said. I'm doing figure eights with an airplane yesterday. Who the fuck does that, dude? Me. My buddy was fucking like, he's like, oh, we have to call Tower for permission. What the fuck up, dude? You're with me. Come on, get in. Swear to God. Swear to God. So after we fucking jacked the air, we did jack the air, but took the nose gear out, fixed it, put it back in, and then we had to do some off checks. So I swung gears to make sure. And then, dude, I took that bitch out for a fucking test drive. I swear to God, dude. And then fucking, I called for a tow to get out of the hangar. They come over, they pulled me out. The guy's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Listen, just so you, and all I need to know is, where do you want me to park it?" The guy goes, "What?" I said, "Where do you want me to park it? Because I'm gonna start driving this little bitch everywhere." And the guy stops. He goes, "Are you a pilot?" I'm like, "No, dude, I'm a mechanic." He goes, "How do you know how to drive it?" I'm like, "It's part of my job." He goes, "Oh, I guess it makes sense." So anyway, I got in, I cranked this bitch. Remember, they broke the steering, right? So what do I have to test?
You gotta test. You gotta test
the steering.
Gotta go
all the way left. I'm doing figure eights, right? And then I called the guy, and then I got on the radio. I looked up I'm on the radio, and I told him, "Hey, I'm done. Where do you want me to put this thing?" They're like, "Hey, we'll send somebody to just follow them. The follow me vehicle that you see sometimes." One of those guys. I was like, cool. To me, it's no big deal. It's like, but if you think about it, it's actually. So I was grateful to have that experience. You know what I mean? It was like, you have to take everything with love, with gratitude.
It changes
everything. Because I don't want to do this anymore. Listen to what I just said. I want to be able to fucking smoke a bowl and not worry about who the fuck's going to look at me. I swear to God, I want to be able to just live. I'm tired of living among certain rules. You know what I mean? No, dude. I want to be able to just. No, I'm done. And she knows that. She knows that. Either I don't know. I applied at Taco Bell one time, and the guy literally laughed at me and never hired me, even though I was very well
qualified to work at Taco Bell.
It was
my
job.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they didn't give it to me, though. Of course, I'd probably be a manager at one right now, but I'm so glad that I never got it. I'm so glad. And I was pissed off that I never got it, too.
There's a saying that says, "Gosh, God loves you too much to give you what you want sometimes, because he'll close a wrong door when you're like." Because I've had jobs where they tried to get me to work them,
and he's trying. Listen, when the universe is giving you everything, it'll give it to you, right? But if, for example, let's just say, "Oh, I really like this blue Jeep," and you start seeing blue Jeeps everywhere, and all of a sudden he goes, "Hey, here's a purple one."
Pretty much.
Like, thank you. I wanted a blue Jeep, though. That's how ungrateful we are. I mean.
Oh man, freaking damn, I lost it.
Ungrateful.
No, it wasn't that. I was gonna or something else that was connected to what you were just talking about. And then I just have no clue what it is now.
Is that contagious?
No, it's not. That's just me being tired. That's all. It's a couple days.
Is that what so we went to bed around 2:00 in the morning after consolidating my wife all night, and then waking up with a 1-hour phone call with my buddy across the state.
No, it was.
And I know I said
no, that's what I was going to talk about. That's what it was. My buddy called me last night, and he's been listening to. I don't know if he's been watching on YouTube or if it's been on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, but he's been listening to the show or the cast. And he is just like, I'm really enjoying this. That's freaking awesome. And he's like, "How did you guys meet?" I was like, somebody connected us because he thought that we'd be a good match on us training together. And he's like, I ran a couple appointments with him, and
no direction, and he has full direction.
It's like, so it's just like it's very. He's like, you guys like apples and oranges. He's like, you guys very have a lot of the ambition qualities, and then we're like, you just flip it upside down, and we're complete opposites in a lot of areas. And I think it's a good mesh. He's like, no, he's like, this is freaking awesome, man. He's like, I really enjoy it. That's what I was going to tell you about.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because he called to check on the hurricane stuff, make sure we're good. He's out in Arizona,
That's cool.
and he's an entrepreneur. Does mortgages, and he's about to start an HVAC company. So
Nice.
yeah, so
Well, we'll make it. Tell him he's in Arizona, so that's what 2 hours behind. That's mountain time.
and until daylight savings, and then when we fall back, then it'll only be 2 hours because they stay the same. They don't change time zones in Arizona, so that they got rid of the foolery with that. And
Hey, listen, just here's a pitch. Depending, of course, where your time frame. Schedule a call for afternoon on a Saturday or Sunday or something like that. You know what I mean? But he's off. We might be able to do something. I don't know. Same time, I want to hear his story.
he's a cool cat. He's got a fucking phenomenal story.
Hear his story. I would love to hear that guy's story. Hell yeah.
I'll connect with him again. I was like, people call you after natural disasters that you haven't talked to in a long time. We reconnected because I sold him life insurance, and so cool, whatever. But we don't talk to people as often as we should. We have to wait till everything's falling apart in their neck of the woods, and then we're like, "Hey, you good?" Like freaking, I have 120 text messages and like 40 freaking messengers that I haven't even opened yet because people that I haven't talked to and I don't know how long. Hey, yeah, check in. Of course, I've worked 14 hours yesterday and 13 the day before. So it's like, yeah, I came home to sleep. So I didn't go. Oh, all right. So I need to spend some time reconnecting with people today. But no, we just don't talk to people enough. We've got our own little bubble. In your words, our world is so involved with people that are important as outside of her. And the unit that's out there.
Secondary. It's secondary. Listen, it took me a long time to understand that. She is the only thing I need to worry about besides myself.
Correct.
That's it. Nothing else. As long as she's okay, I don't need anything else at all. They are temporary. That's only for the first 20 years. They're 21 and 19, 18, 19, right? I look at myself as an example, right? Even though I've trained them and treated them in a way that they want to come home. Listen, I think I sent that to you, was right? That true wealth and success is to have your adult kids. There was a billionaire who said that, dude. I think I sent it to you. He goes, true success is having your adult kids wanting to go see you. And I was like, holy shit, that is so true. I got my mom down the street, dude. I didn't call her yesterday. Ouch. You know what I mean? I did think about her. I texted her. She texted me first, I think. But whatever. We texted, but it's my mom down the street. You're right. We don't. Tend not to. And then I'm making sure that these guys I don't want them to rely on me or us, but at the same time, I have them trained enough to where they stay or when they come home or when they're leaving, they have to, doesn't matter what time. They're adults. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But they have to let us know before when they leave and when they come back. Other than that, I don't care. That's the only part of, respect that much. Let me know. And even the girlfriend, she come by and she's like, hey, I'm home. Hey, I'm leaving.
That's cool.
Oh, dude. Oh, I remember one time, because that's the other thing. I don't know why, dude, but it's like a gringo thing. It's like this American fucking thing where everybody and just ignore people. And I was like, no, fuck you. Number one, you're in my house. No, I had to stop that one quick because I noticed it. And I noticed in between all the kids as they've been growing up, I had to stop that one quick. I've known that little girl since she was 15. She's 21. It's been 5-6 years since I met her. Right. So I was like, wait a moment. No. First of all, I don't give a shit what any other parent or anybody else in this house. You walk into anybody's motherfucking house besides your own and you say hi. You give respect. No.
That's not a gringo thing. That's just having something instilled that should have been instilled.
For some reason, these fucking kids, they're walking through the house and you're standing right there and you see them enter the house. They completely ignore you. They don't acknowledge you. Hey,
you got touched.
Come here. I don't give a fuck who that is. Sit down. Sit down. You come to my house, you better fucking say hi. That's it.
If
we know each other, you're giving me a hug. If you don't know me, at least you're saying hello. You got that one? Yes.
You can't walk to somebody's house and not introduce yourself or say hello. Let's just be
No.
honest.
Oh, why? Because you're with the fucking kid? Listen, he's a part-time kid. No, he just started living, dude. No. No.
That's funny, but it's true.
And now, what do I have? I have a home full of fucking 20-something-year-olds. The other day, Sebastian's birthday. I'm hugging and kissing on every single one of those motherfuckers. They're my boys. I love every single one of them. And they show the respect and they show the love. And that's things that don't happen in other homes. So I hope that at least I broke that curse between me and my side. It's not going to happen with them. They see how we are with the abuelos, with the grandparents, and how the nucleus, the family nucleus is important and so forth. They see that so they can hopefully mold that part within themselves. But at least I showed them that's one of the best things that I think that I was able to break. Now I'm really scared of we're like, don't do as I do, but do as I say type deal. So I have an issue with my brothers and I really don't want them to have an issue. You know what I mean? That's the only one that kills me. And I tell them all about it. I tell her, I told her, I was like, listen, your brother is the only dude besides your dad that isn't out here to fuck you in any which way. So listen, please use your brother. Make sure you're there for him. Make sure he's there for you. Yes. And Seb, your sister, you have to take care of that one until you're gone. That's to a certain extent. I mean, they have to, that friendship, that bond, that brother, it has to exist. Has to have some type of spark. Because it's understandable. Listen, within a family, you should be. Here's another big difference in my family. We yell. When I say is that the Cadinas are used to expressing themselves in a very loud manner. I'm not talking yelling, right? We tend to regurgitate our words, which they just come up. I don't know where it came from. Just
Word vomit.
And
removing that filter that's right here. Start spitting.
So that's how they are. So I came up in an environment that I can literally say, dude, fuck you, you piece of shit. What the fuck? And you'd be like, no, you stupid motherfucker. I'm like, come on, dude.
I met somebody like that recently. It didn't go well. He's a super cool dude, but that first interaction, and it was like, he's like, hey, motherfucker, who the fuck's in charge here? And I'm like, I'm gonna turn the machine off. Who the fuck runs the show here? What the fuck are you talking to? I'm like, who the fuck do you think you're cussing at? He's like, oh man, he's like, that's just how I talk. Like, I don't.
I had a mistake. I was on top of an airplane one time. Me and Nelson were working, blah, blah. And then this guy comes down here because we were in a borrowed hangar, by the way, right? Mm-hmm. So then it was an airplane coming in that needed a space back. And the guy was just doing his job. But he comes at me he goes, hey man, we need you to move the airplane. When you get to a stopping point, and you're like, dude, I'm sorry, you ain't moving this shit. He goes, I told him, you're not moving this airplane, dude. Not until I'm done. So that's how the conversation got started, right? Yeah. So he's pissed and I'm pissed. And at the same time, at the end, I said something like, you guys always, like, you fucking guys on my back or something. I don't need to deal with your shit too. Like that. I said something like that, dude. And the guy goes, listen, motherfucker, I'm just doing my job. And that's when I stopped and I do apologize. It wasn't on me. You know what I mean? Now, it took me a day to say that.
He's like, well, you know, I condensed it down for you.
I did, dude. After we spit our words and I basically told each other to go fuck ourselves, I went back the next day and I was like, I'm sorry.
Well, at least you reflect. That's it. If you didn't reflect on it.
I have to now. I listen every night before going to bed. I think about everything I did and what I said and every emotional feeling that I had that was not in a love or affection or just, if it was anything unpleasant,
that's what my wife was like, are you okay this morning? When I was just sitting there and I was like, just kind of praying and going through my practice and doing the thing. So, it's like everything that I said to those guys was valid, but it needed to stop right there and get stuffed in that box, and that part of the day's over. And I think that I allowed it to carry into it. Still had a great day, whatever, but just need to leave that there. How many times if we just close the door on something after it's done and don't carry that emotion? how much will that change your experience of that day? And that's what I really think that's what I was thinking about this morning. It was like, so okay, we talked about this before. There's a price to pay for carrying excess baggage through life, and it doesn't even have to be from year to year. It can be from moment to moment. And I think if we have a very good consciousness about that, then we can change the direction of our day. And then the day, or we'll start the minute, the hour, then the day, then a week in a lifetime, just piece by piece by piece. Damn, that was fucking good.
You're right. But then again, that's the one thing that that's one of the hardest things to do, but it's one of the most important things to do. Because a lot of the things that we say is just natural. It just comes right out. Thinking, that's a habit. When you do things and you don't think about it, it's called a habit. So, holy fuck, dude. So we have to perfect or better our speaking habits.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. There's one guy that I follow on social media. He's a Oriental dude, and I forgot his name. I got it there somewhere. Fuck, I completely forgot his name. But he has the most eloquent fucking speech I've ever heard. And he'll talk to you, and he uses tonalities and he'll grab your attention, and you're like, what? Just different ways of. And I started following him because that's one thing that I was asked a long time ago, why, if I ever thought of becoming an attorney. And I said, to be honest with you, if I were to go to college, if college was my route, that's the one degree that I would have pursued. Why? Because with everything that I've done in life, all the different businesses, all the different business ideas, the money that I've lost, the money that I've made, dude, I would have been an attorney. Killer it. But they don't have souls. Dude, I can't be an attorney. Oh, gosh.
So they don't have souls.
No, they're there to fuck everybody who walks in through that door. Listen, dude, when my stepdad had an issue with his ex-wife, my mother and my stepdad spent $250,000 on attorney fees. Listen to that. Attorney fees, dude. In the course of about 5 years. That's $50,000 a year in attorney fees.
That's disgusting. And with the homeowners insurance thing, he was just like, yeah, I can litigate this, but he was like, your policy isn't big enough for me to take a big enough chunk, was essentially what he said. And he's like, but we didn't have a case. He's like, I can fight it. But he's like, I'm just going to eat up your policy. And this was like, because, and that's a lot of things, though.
How is that a win, though?
Yeah.
How is that going to hurt the fucking system so I won't do it again?
It's not a win. But there's a lot of things that are like that. Even the public adjuster. Our fee is 30% of what you get. 30% of what I get. So 30% of the award that I need to fix my house. You guys are going to take that. Well, he's like, we write the bill for 30% higher. So, but still, what's the probability that the insurance company is going to want to pay a 30% markup on what they already know the quote is that I'm fighting them for? And he's like, well,
I'd give him a shot. I would have. Listen, dude.
But if you don't win, then you got a bill. If you don't win, you still got a bill.
The public adjuster? No, not with him.
Interesting.
Because either it's a win, dude. 100% of nothing is still 100% is nothing.
I get that, but
30% to him, and he's saying that he'll fucking increase it, and he's gonna convince them to take a little bit higher.
Let's see if that's still on the table, because that was one of the first people that I talked to, because I had his phone number in my Rolodex.
I mean,
when I was like, call this person.
That sounds like a decent job too.
He's good at it too. He's actually exceptional at it. And it's very interesting because I was talking to my buddy about it, and he literally cut me off and wouldn't let me finish. He's like, don't you ever use a public adjuster. They're going to fuck you. And then I talked to you. But that's also one of the things where, like, I didn't even get to finish my thought when I was talking to him about it. He's like, don't you ever do that. And he's like going through this. And he's pretty sharp, shrewd businessman. But in the scope of your expertise, that's not where it is. And so it's so interesting. People give you definite advice to an area that they're not even competent in.
Listen, dude, it's not my expertise either. But
right.
My way of thinking is my buddy's about to get fucked. He's closing down. He doesn't have a fucking kitchen. He's doing all this other shit. from 16,000, bring it down to about $6,000 or maybe $4,000 or $5,000 with
Right.
including his own fucking manual labor, which is fucking priceless.
Right.
I wouldn't say take 50%, but there's room in there for growth.
Well, listen, I have to see if the doors are even still open on it because I know they shouldn't be able to just close the door on something like that. But I'll have to see because I know they only give you like 21 days to file a dispute with.
Just filing a dispute takes nothing. Did you ask? We talked about this one already. We talked about this, and you said it was 21 days. And I said, when does it expire? You said today. And I said, then motherfucker, make sure you let them know that it's coming. Because you're letting them know you gave them, but it should have been submitted as a response.
They were notified. Freaking, I told them in writing to email us the dispute process, so they were notified that we weren't.
There you go. So you should be within your limits, or I don't know. That's what I'm saying, dude. You better fucking. Oh, that's worse than me not running.
I honestly just wanted to fix my shit, so like I got the plumbing done.
That's what they're banking on.
Well,
so, dude, that's exactly what they want.
I don't have fucking time to keep on fighting with these people. That's it. I don't have no money. I don't give a fuck anymore. So you're trying to tell me that you need to do this. Bro. I don't care.
You're broke. Listen to me. Listen. Yeah. It has millions and billions of your money, dude, because they've been taking it and then they just fucking they just fucked you and they kicked you out and fuck you progressive. But dude,
it doesn't look. And that's when it has to be important enough to be like, so you're going to keep on going on about it. It's like, dude, I don't give a fuck. So we're at this point where I want my shit done. I don't want to fucking keep on fighting with these fucking cocksuckers. So you telling me that I need to go do this, and we're past that point at this point in time, that I'm going to finish what I need to get done so I can have a working fucking kitchen.
I get it.
So that's just all right. Sorry, babe. I know I woke you up. My bad. I'm sorry. That's why, like, if you ever wonder why I'm like chill, because there's a bathroom right there, and then there's the master. I need to put the fucking egg. I need to order the egg crates today and get the wallets to look a little better.
Egg cartons, foam, all that fun stuff.
We're gonna get foam. I could hear it echoing off the walls when I was talking.
When I had the studio up, and I'd go in there at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm doing all my things, dude. I was my studio is right in between Sebastian and Gabriella's room, so it's like, well, Gabby, I don't know if she woke up, but I'm right next to Sebastian, so I'm sure he heard everything. Oh man!
So I guess I'm gonna go hit the gym and get a lift in.
Do you? I'm gonna go back to sleep. I will run later though, after the call.
I thought about going back to sleep. I'm just gonna go ahead and close that door and go get a lift in.
I can afford to.
It's been a few days, so I'm like just.
No, but I have to run today. I feel a little bit better. I'm not as sore as I was yesterday, so I have to make myself sore later.
Yeah.
That part I understand. So I have to run. Yes, no questions asked. But I will do it later. You have fun at the gym, and I'll see you later.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.